Hey, Queens. Thank you for tuning in today to another episode of the Queen's Corner. I am your good girlfriend, Shanelle Sara'Nita. Hey, girl. And I am here and welcoming you to this golden space of womanhood. I'm here to provide an experience for you to delve deep into self love, self care, and self preservation. Oh, and self value. I want you to desire to become the best version of yourself. We are on this journey together. As I am working on myself, I know and I believe that you're working on yourself as well. Forgive me if it's a little loud outside. You guys know I live in the city of LA, and when I say the city of LA is loud, it's loud. Okay. Um, I'm feeling great today. I'll do my check-in in a second, but I feel great today. To introduce the segment, you guys already know that the segment is that we're still on. It's healing is a trend, but are you really healing though? But are you doing the work though? Let me get it right. Healing is the trend, but are you doing the work though? That's what's important. And, I came up with that because we hear a lot of people say we're healing, we're on this path, we're doing the right thing. But the question is, are we really doing the work? That's the question. My daughter, Chloe Ray, said it to me the other day. She was like, I think I said it already, but she was like, yeah, because everybody thinks healing is taking a big trip. But healing is so much deeper than that. I promise y'all, she's been here 1,000 times over. Her and Harley, they've been here before. My baby Harley wants to come on to the podcast, so I'm trying to put something together in my head right now. I'm doing this and I'm working on this segment, but I want to bring both of my girls on. So y'all tell me what y'all think. A lot of people ask me about our relationship and the bond that I have with my daughters. So I am looking forward to sharing that and sharing a bit of them with you all. Um, I think that'd be nice. So our episode for today is not healed until your healing is tested. So you're not really healed if you don't know if you're healed. You feel me? You feel what I'm saying? Like, how do you really know? You don't know until it's tested. I recently told you guys a part of my life, recent situations that showed me that I was not healed and that I still had work to do. So we throw this word around so much, like I'm healed, I'm healing, I'm healed. Don't come to me if you're not healed, which I think is the most unfair statement ever. I really think that's an unfair statement. Don't come to me if you are not healed, right? Um, but I truly believe that if you don't test it, just like your faith is going to be tested. You don't know how faithful you are until it's tested. You don't know how strong you are until your strength is tested. Healing is just the same. You don't really know how healed you are until you got to test that thing and you realize, like, wait a minute, this may still got some work to do because this here ain't it. This can't be it. You feel what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, I had a recent situation. Oh, let me check in with you guys. Let me check in with you guys, and then I'll do the quotes for the day. So check in. How am I feeling? That felt good. I feel inspired. I feel inspired. I feel strength. I feel that my affirmations are working because I am believing them. I am doing affirmations about 7 times a day and working on all of this stuff, you know, that's in me and exploring as much as I can, a little bit at a time, like not trying to, I told you I had this thing of taking on so much at one time. So I am feeling exuberant. I am feeling inspired. I am feeling beautiful. I am feeling like, girl, you got this. Like, you got this today. Like, you got this moving forward. But today you're feeling good. I feel good. I look good. I need to go and do some. Oh, excuse me. It's probably going to make some sounds on my microphone. But I need to go and do some core workouts because I haven't. But otherwise, I feel like I'm about to delve deep into myself. Like I said, I'm about to delve deep, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited about seeing who's on the other side, checking this new woman out. I'm excited for her. So that's where I am. I feel like I am working towards really loving on me and being consistent, especially in this space. I am making sure that I sit down every day and get to this podcast. I have to. If y'all feel like I'm falling off, y'all, listen, friends, family, people, audience, come through. Like, Shanelle, where you at? Where you at? Because what you said was, this is what you're going to do every day. And I meant what I said. And I'm going to stop playing with myself. You feel me? Okay. So the quote that I have for today, it says, it's from this book that I have here, The Complete Pocket Positives. I never told y'all where I got this book. It's an anthology of inspirational thoughts. The 5 Mile Press, I guess is where it came from. I got this book downstairs in my apartment building. Somebody left it to give it away. And, I try to hold on to everything that's positive that can pour into me. And so, yeah, I found this book and was like, dang, I think I might need this. Pour some stuff into myself. Wow, that's a good one, actually. I think I'm going to do this one. Even a mistake may turn out to be the one thing necessary to a worthwhile achievement. Even a mistake may turn out to be the one thing necessary to a worthwhile achievement. I love that. I love that. Sometimes we put ourselves in a space where we're thinking that we're making a mistake when we really are not. It's really divine timing or divine intervention. God is intervening with some things. I have one more. And because I'm about to throw this away, it was actually in a picture frame, right? It's messy now. It was in a picture frame, but picture frame broke. And it says, how you love yourself is how you teach others to love you. How you love yourself is how you teach others to love you. Rupi Kaur, I think is the name of the person that quoted that. Which is very true. We have to be the mirror of the people that we let in our lives. So that's why this healing is important, because you can't show up in this world expecting people to care for you and love you, or to give you good energy, to be great for you or around you, and you're not doing that for yourself. If you're not showing up being the person that you want people to, what is the word? Reciprocate. It's one of my favorite words, reciprocity. I'm big on it. So big on it. And if you are not showing up, showing people how to treat you, if you're not showing up treating yourself well, people are going to give you what you give, what you pour out into yourself, what you pour into yourself. So you got to be careful with that. Back to not healed until you are healing. Your healing is tested. Okay. So I don't know about y'all, but I know that I spoke about how I go around in circles. And the reason why I go around in circles with the same situations, or that I'm not doing that anymore, but I have, is because I didn't learn the lesson. Number one, I didn't learn the lesson, and I didn't recognize where I was not healed. And because I abandoned the healing process. I neglected the healing process. I tried my best to move as far away from it as possible at some points because it hurt too bad, right? But when I finally recognized, like, oh, these are things that I need to heal on, these are things that I need to, and I'm thinking to myself, oh girl, you got it. Like, girl, please, nothing can touch you. This man, please. This life, please. You got it. But then it's like this one tad bit thing will show up. And I'm like, girl, what's good? You got it. Right? And then something else will show up. And you're like, okay, all right. All right. All right, Shanelle. You got it. Just relax. And then something else shows up. And you're like, oh my God, it's torn me apart. It's tearing me apart. What is this? Why is this happening? What am I doing? And it's you being tested. It's you being tested to see, are you really healed? Have you peeled back all the layers of your healing? Or did you just do the top layer? Or did you just get right before the core of the problem, of your healing process? You got to dig deep, 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 deep in that thing. That's what I hated about, that was one thing that I hated about my marriage, about my relationship, was I always wanted to go deep. I need to go deep in that thing, scratch that surface out, clean that thing all the way out, just like a cavity, just like when you get a root canal. I need to clean that thing all the way out and see what's down there. Because if we don't get down there, we keep doing this plateau thing where all we touching is all that we're touching is the surface. Why? Why are we only touching this right here when we have so much more that we need to delve deep into? That just doesn't make sense to me. So now we're stuck here. And you know what happens when we get stuck here? When we get stuck here, the next time the thing happens, we're still on this level. It gets worse. The situation gets worse because we never connected to or had communication about what the problem really is. And it's the same thing with your healing process. If you're not digging as deep as possible in that thing and pulling that I don't even want to call it a cavity because I feel like the cavity is what's on top. If you're not getting down into that infection, because that's what it is, all that trauma and the toxic stuff and, you know, the heartache and the pain and the resentment and the jealousy and all of that, what's up under there? And whatever is up under there, that's what you need to dig into. That's what you need to figure out. Well, why am I this way? If I'm healing, what am I healing from? Okay, I'm healing from childhood trauma. What childhood trauma? Oh, I'm healing from my husband cheating on me, or I'm healing from uh abandonment. Abandonment from whom? You know what I mean? Or I'm healing from, I don't know. I don't know. Insecurities. Why are you insecure? What got you here? It's not the way you look. Who told you that you weren't pretty? Or who did something to you to make you feel unworthy of being beautiful? It's so much more than just, oh, I'm just insecure. Oh, I felt abandoned. Oh, you don't love me. No, I'm healing from people not loving me. No, 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 no. It's so much deeper than that. And you have to be willing to explore that part, because if you don't, it's going to be an infection that grows out of this world and you won't be able to control it. Now, not only are you feeling abandoned and frustrated, but you're blocking yourself off from love. You're blocking yourself off from the world. You're blocking yourself off from each and everything that could possibly be amazing in your life because you have not given yourself the grace to actually heal from it and test that healing. Now, testing that healing is scary. It's just like testing your faith, because that means that you got to get out here. You have to be open. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be something that you don't want to be, because that's what got you in this situation in the first place. Maybe, maybe not. So when you test it, you have to be willing to open yourself up and say, all right, girl, we are going to allow. I am so tired of these things coming through. I don't even know how to shut them down, y'all. I'm trying to though. We are going to allow people to come into our space, because if we don't, we'll never exercise our healing. It's a gem. Everything is a gem. And I don't mean like a gem, like a piece of jewelry. I mean like going into the gym and exercising. It's a gem. You have to exercise your brain. If you don't, you'll get stupid. If you don't read, you'll never learn. If you don't use what you've learned, you'll never become wise, right? You have to exercise to keep your body in order. You have to eat well to keep your body in order. You have to do the same thing with your mind, body, and spirit. You have to do it. You have to align those things, but you have to exercise your spirit. You have to exercise your healing. Sometimes you got to test the loyal ground. You got to see, like, okay, am I doing this right? Am I allowing myself to open up enough for somebody to come in? And then when this thing happens, for instance, excuse me. Oh, this is chai tea, guys. I love chai tea. I love tea. I need to have my own tea brand because I can drink tea and collect mugs like crazy. I love tea and I love mugs. Um, it needs some hazelnut cream in it, but it's good. Anywho, before we got to this place, which I don't know if it's unstable ground or not, I'm just allowing it to flow. I had already begun this healing process, and I think because it was a little easier for me than him because I had already let go of our situation. It would show up sometimes, but I had made a promise to myself that I would not allow his words, or I would not allow it to affect me anymore, because number one, we are miles and miles apart. I was allowing it to control me. So if he did anything to antagonize me or taunt me or anything like that, I would literally, sometimes it would take over my whole day. Some things that he would say would like drain my day, and I would start seeing myself as he would say that I am. And what it did with me was it made me it made me it made me crazy. It made me feel like I wasn't my best self. It made me feel like I was below, like I wasn't worth anything. And so I made a promise to God that I'm going to heal from this and I'm going to let it go. And I am no longer going to allow him to dictate how I should feel that day. Over time, it took time for me to get there. Eventually it started to fall off, right? And things
So
that
I
he
know
was
you
saying.
want to get back to the message, and I want you to get back to it too. But I decided there was something new that I want to start, and it is called the Queen's Spotlight. Today, we are spotlighting Miss Ambry Jones. She is the owner and founder of She Candle Co., a luxury bath and body brand founded in 2017. Ambry is an advocate for unapologetic self care and a lover of all things luxurious. Ambry prides herself on creating products that are both therapeutic and aesthetically pleasing. Ambry says, as someone who suffers from anxiety, self care is a non negotiable for me, and it shouldn't feel like another task. It's something I've mastered being a boy mom, running businesses, and working a full time job. I encourage my tribe to take long, luxurious bubble baths, light a candle, play music, or read a book after a long day of doing life. She Candle Co. offers an array of products that will help you do just that. You can catch all of Ambry's vibes on Instagram at the She Candle Co. because self-care is sexy, girl.
And things that he would say will roll off my back like water. Like, bye, bye. Like, I got oil on my body and water is just flowing down it and there's nothing touching me. Whatever, bye. Um, and then every once in a while, depending on how I was feeling about myself, I would feel what he was saying and I would allow it to pierce me. And every time I did that, I would find myself back in a place of cussing him out or saying the same things that he would say back to me. You hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you more. I know, like, my words could hurt, my words could cut. And because I learned that, I tried to be very, I have worked on being very careful of what I say, right? When it comes down to that. Because with other people, it's not like that for me. If I, that was the relationship that we had. And I had grown so far out of that because I didn't want to be that person. But then there were days where I would be punch, 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 punch with words. And I would get back up and fight, but I would fight in a way that was still hurting me because now I'm going back on my words. Now I'm going back on the promise that I made to myself and to the divine about not not using not using hate for hate, walking away from it, learning how to walk away because the walking away was empowering me. When I say it was making me feel so much better as a person and as a woman, like, oh, he can't touch this, he can't touch me. I am better than who I was before. Never cared to be better than him. Only cared to be better than who I was yesterday. So when I realized, like, yo, you're letting him pull you back into this space. Come on, B. Like, that's how I talk to myself. Come on, babe. Come on, sis. Like, come on, B. You really gonna let him do that to you? Like, you're gonna allow him to take over where you are in your life right now? So that was me testing. That was me testing my healing. Am I really healed from this? Because my healing would say, "No, you walking, or you can walk away from that. It's nothing. It rolls off your back like oil and water. It's nothing." But the unhealing would show up when I was triggered. I recently was triggered, right? Not even by him, right? I was triggered by this cinematographer sent me a message and he had been reaching out to me for some time. I had been dealing with some things, going through some things. And so I don't know this guy. He doesn't need to know my business, right? Um, he would see me on Instagram, doing whatever I'm doing. And we were supposed to meet a few times. I got this energy from him that he was attracted to me. I don't do, I don't work and play in the same space. I don't. And if you are attracted to me and you're showing up like you want to date me and things like that, I'm not in that space because when I work, I work. And when I work with people, I make that more of a family situation and a friendship than anything else because I don't like to cross those lines. Um, so he was very confusing to me. It was one day he sent me a message like, "Are you back in town? I want to see you." And I'm like, "You want to see me? Why? Why do you want to see me?" Like we have nothing that's happening here. So I said, I sent him a message back saying, "Oh, you want to collaborate on something? Sure, I'm up for that." And then he kind of went into a whole nother spiel, and then the next message was something that seemed again like he was attracted to me. So I kind of avoided him. And then recently he sent me a message and was just like, um, "I see that you're talking about somebody dropped the ball on you." And I picked up the phone and I called this guy. And when I called him, he sounded like my ex-husband. When I say this man sound like my ex-husband, he triggered me. He got on the phone and I was like, "Such and such, hi." We've never spoken, and I was not okay with the way that you were talking to me. When I say he was like, bah, 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 bah. When I say this man went off and had so many things, and it triggered me to the point where my heart chakra was just like all over the place, and then my sacral, everything was just like all over the place. My anxiety got bad. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to disconnect this call. And I hung up, deleted his number, blocked him from my Instagram and everything. Yes, I took it very personal because I refuse to have those type of things in my space. I am in a space of healing. And until I am in a space where I know that I am healed, that I dealt with that my entire adulthood. That I can't speak without feeling like everything I say is going to be challenged or I'm going to be yelled at. No, sir. Not the way that Shanelle is showing up in the world right now. Not the way that I'm taking care of myself. Not the way that I'm respecting myself. I'm not going to have someone else come in here and disrespect me and talk to me in a way that I know I don't appreciate or that I don't deserve. So I had to disconnect that call. I had to be done with that. And I realized that that is still a trigger for me. Being spoken to a certain way or being spoken to in a way um, that I've had to endure or that I've endured over the years is not for me anymore. And it was hard. It was really hard for me to like go through the process of like trying to let that go. And I realize now, like, okay, that still triggers you. I don't know what to do about that yet. I don't know what to do about someone speaking to me in that way yet and being able to walk away from it without feeling all of these things. So that's something that I'm working on. So that was my test for this week. Like, okay, you need to know that there are going to be a lot of men in this world, a lot of people in this world that think that they have the upper hand to speak to you any kind of way. So now I have to figure out how to shut things down without getting angry. Because one thing about me, I can go from 0 to 1,000 real quick if I need to. I can get there. I can get there and I can pull myself back if I want to. Maybe. But if I go far enough, I got a little bit of crazy. I'm not going to act like I don't. I have a little bit of crazy. And I got that because I had to learn how to protect myself. I did. I had to learn how to protect myself from certain energies, certain spirits, all of that stuff. So now I just don't play those type of games. You cannot speak to me any kind of way. But what I am learning is how to respond in a way where I'm gonna, and I'm good with this with certain people, honestly, but how to respond in a way where I'm gonna shut shit down. I can shut it down without yelling, screaming, or cursing, or getting my energy worked up. Y'all know I'm an Aries woman, so I'm already ready for war anyway if I need to be. But I am trying to remove that part of myself where I don't need to always be ready for war. If I need it, it's back there. I can go and get it. But I want to move in a space of love even when it's hate coming my way. I want to be able to do that. I need to be able to flip it. You know what I mean? So when I talk about um when I talk about, figuring out how far you've come in your healing process, you cannot be afraid um to get out here and test the waters. Don't be so, let's not be so caught up in believing that we've gotten to our destination of healing and being blindsided by it when you realize you have not. Be intentional. Remind yourself of what you're healing from. Remind yourself of what you're healing from, and then, okay, now that I know that I'm healing and I'm working on something, be aware of the things that are coming your way. So when somebody shows up and oh, I'm healing from, I don't know, being envious of people, right? There might be more than likely, as he does, as the divine does, God will throw something in your way to test your healing. So, you may find yourself being envious of people on Instagram. I'm just using this as an example. And you have to work with somebody that has every single thing in the world that you want right now. Look good, feel good, living the best life, and all you want is to live a life like that, right? Instead of being envious of that person and being jealous of that person, give admiration, admire that person. Get to know that person, because a lot of the times we become envious of people that are the best people that we should be becoming friends with, or getting or learning from, or getting to know. But instead, you decide that person thinks that they're this, they're that. And really, it's not that they think anything. It's really your root is that you're envious and that you're jealous. And why are you like that? You're like that, once again, digging deeper, because you know that you are not living in your best self right now, which means you have to work on your best self so that you can get to where you're trying to be. It has nothing to do with that other person, right? So when I say test your healing, that's what I mean. Test your healing. Make sure that you are being intentional about your healing. And when things like this comes around, you know how to handle it. You got to work it. You got to exercise it. So I thank you all for showing up for me. And I thank you for, once again, joining the Queen's Corner podcast. I don't know if you're watching it or listening, but of course you can check us out on Apple Music. You can check us out on Spotify, YouTube. You can also join the Instagram and the Facebook uh, Facebook group. I am going to become more active on those things. I've just been trying to stay up on this and work on some other plans that I have going on for the Queen's Corner as well. But I do appreciate y'all. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you for tuning in. I am grateful for each and every last one of you all. If you have any questions, if you have any advice, if you have any topics that you want to talk about, we are a family. You are open to send me messages, DM me, or put it in the comments. Put things in the comments. I read the comments and I respond back to the comments. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. And I pray that you have an amazing week. I will check back in with you tomorrow. I love you. I'm on my way to a business brunch, and I'm a little excited about it. So I look forward to uh, tapping back in and maybe even telling you guys about my day. I love you. I love you. I love you. Tap in with yourself, girl. See you later. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to another fire episode of the Queen's Corner. Please like, subscribe, and share with another queen. Love you, girl.